see how many people actually can adjust that as far as you want as well. We're fucking live.
Are we? Let's go.
Yeah. But yeah, I think a lot of people, like I've only seen Mackenzie's head, man. He's just like this.
Yeah, can't beast him.
But I want to get to that point now. I'm like, if I can get down to maybe like 70, 72, I think that's comfortable. I'm not going to get beasted with some absolute unit that's like 6 foot and just going to tower over me.
Would you do a fight?
Yeah. I'm dying to do one.
Go for it.
Actually, I think that's my one goal I'm going to have for this year.
End of 2026, let's go.
Because obviously, but they've got the one in March, haven't they?
Yeah.
And I was like, there's no way.
Too soon.
I've got a house to move into. I've got to get all that sorted. We're going to Italy. I'm like, it's not too soon.
Far too soon.
So if I can try and, I lost 10 kg in like 6 weeks. Yeah, 6-7 weeks.
What was your diet?
I was like 12,000 calories a day. That was me like emergency though. That was like unnecessary. Well, it wasn't unnecessary because I was 87 kg, but I was like, I need to strip it, and I was like hard on myself to the point where I was getting just as much protein in and just trying to strip so much. Like, but that's too much of a deficit, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's good if you've got a goal within the next couple of months or something, like a fight, like cutting weight or something like that. But once you're at a healthy level, you need to be eating the right stuff. Yeah, exactly. And it's just the amount of lack of, like, I like to still eat a snack or two. Do you know what I mean? So I'm like, now I've been fucking snacking too much as well. It's always been my weakness. Food has always been my weakness out of all of it. Food has always been
I can tell.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Give me a couple of months.
I think you'll get there. I think it's easy though, like you said, like we can easily lose weight, but it's how restrictive do you want to be in that, like, those next couple of weeks?
Do you know what? I feel like I'm losing weight now that I'm this ill, and if I can, I wouldn't mind getting ill for a month. Strip the weight off.
Have you been sick or anything this week?
No, just
bunged up.
Yeah, but every time I get ill, it sits on my chest. I've had a bad chest my whole life, and this one sitting on my chest now, it feels like my face is constantly wanting to cave in. You know what I mean? All the pressure behind my eyes and everything. That's very sore at the minute. And then, my chest, and then all my. I was at work today trying to dig a hole, and all my finger joints and everything are just really achy. It's just things like this will help. Do you know what I mean? Like I said,
I must nail out a litre of that in 2 days.
It'll help. Just flush the crap out.
And obviously loads of fucking water and stuff, but you need to preserve your body a bit more. Your body is a temple.
Well, this is the problem. Is, I've got to go to work. Well, your man customer this morning saw me and he was like, "You don't look good." I was like, "I don't feel it at all." He's like, "You could have stayed home." I was like, well,
"No, you can't.
I can't stay home."
It's not when you're self-employed and you've got fucking shit to do. It's like it's not a choice. You can't just like, so I'll sit and take a fucking 2 weeks off and blag it.
Well, I did that on. I left early on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And then even that, you wake up on Wednesday and you're like, you're calculating how much money
you've just lost.
Yeah, exactly. I can't keep doing that.
I know. It's fucking very difficult for a man your needs, like. So obviously we start the podcast now.
Let's go.
First thing I do want to get into something is obviously from inspiration of what I'm trying to do now. I want to talk about what initially started morning momentum for you. What brought it to where it was? How did you develop it? Like, how did you see it before it even become a thing that, and obviously what it is now?
The main word is organically. So it started the day Kirky was on the beach, got arrested, and then me and Mike were watching that happen, and it was almost the stubbornness of, you can get arrested for going in the water. We're going to go in the water.
Yeah, this was COVID times, wasn't it?
So it was almost the stubbornness of, I don't agree with that. And I know how good it made me feel. That was the first time I ever did it. And I know how good it made me feel afterwards. I was going through a breakup at the time. So I wasn't in a good headspace, but for 4 hours afterwards, it felt incredible. So me and Mike were kind of having that conversation with each other afterwards of, let's just do this every day.
Yeah.
For a good while, it was just me and him. And then some friends wanted to join in, and Joey Asher-Hayes, I believe, was the first one.
No way, big up Joe.
Yeah, exactly. I know OG of Morning Momentum, and now look at him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, still a maggot.
And then Foster and Dino joined in, and then that was the core group for a little while. But I would say the vision came when it was just me and Mikey, really, when it was just me and him on our own. At that point, me and Mike were on a warpath with everything that was going on in the world.
Yeah, trying to take, especially in that time of COVID.
Exactly.
It was like you're either with or you're against it.
Exactly. And we were, to say the least, completely against it. In the fact that we wanted to sort our own heads out, and like I say, we were on the warpath. We were just researching, getting out every day, running. Me and him at that point were putting some miles in. It was ridiculous, and that was probably the first I've ever been at that point during COVID.
So how long do we go talking now? 25? What, you now 30, 31?
Yeah, so that was 2020.
2020.
That would have been summer 2020. And then from I've said this in a previous podcast, but it's a cool little story. I remember me and Mikey were sat in the sea on our own, and he said, "What can you imagine if we could get everyone in the water at 6 o'clock all the way around the world?" And I was like, imagine it's like a
call to arms, isn't it?
Like, it's also like a Mexican wave. Imagine it around the world at 6 a.m. Everyone gets in. It's like a Mexican wave of pure positive energy. Do you know what I mean? And we're all connected through the sea. That was how mine and his head was working at that particular minute. And
go big or go home.
Literally,
essentially, isn't it?
That was it. Yeah, exactly. So, and from then, that was the case of, well, let's just invite people down, and organically, the right people turned up. Into what it is. Started in Ramsey, and then Mikey took it to Douglas. And one thing we've learned is, in order to grow something, and me and you have had this conversation with Alcaz, is you can't tell anybody. No, you just got to be there.
Yeah, I think now, especially with everything that's happened over the weekend, I'm like, I want to force it down people's throats in the nicest way possible. Not like this is the best thing in the world. Yeah. I don't believe it is.
Yeah, but you're doing it because you want people to feel the benefits that you have.
Well, it's like you started. I was the same thing. I'm like, there's something here. It's obviously being done. It's a blueprint. It's a proven thing. Is there something I can do, or something I can do within myself to take it to even the next further step?
Yeah, and that's all it is. Is you turn up yourself, you stay consistent, you do it every day, and it will naturally grow. People will gravitate towards it, and quite often it's not your friends, it's people who are going through the similar sort of things. People you've never met before will get in touch and go, right, this is really resonating with me. Can I come and join in? And then from that, you end up building your own community, your own crew, your own force. Do you know what I mean?
I think I've scared a couple of people off though. I think that was natural. I think the goal for me wasn't about just getting, obviously building community is so important, but it wasn't about like, let's get the whole element running out at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I think that speaks to the difference in mine and your personality. You're a savage. You're like,
for me, it's like, it's a ride or die. It's like at 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock, I'm like, in my head, it's too easy of a challenge. Not that it's an easy feat, because I don't think running's easy. I don't think everyone can run.
Yeah.
It takes a certain something. It takes a lot of time and a lot of patience as well to understand your body's rhythm, your breathing and extra. But I think doing it at 5, I was like, that's the big challenge. I'm like, I could do that at 7 mentally in my head, but getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm like, it's a different feat. And then after that first week, I was like, fuck it out. I was in bits. My legs were fucked. I hate running anyway. I used to get fucking problems in my legs and that. My shins used to go. So I'm like, train the body instead. But I'm like, even then, that's all like, I'm all over ride or die. I'm like, I'm going to lift the heaviest weight I can.
Whereas me, it's about it. I do better when there's other people relying on me. When there's a community there to show up for. I do better. It's something I need to work on, being able to show up for myself. But when there's people relying on me, if there's, I know there's going to be a group there in the morning, I'm there. I'll have to get up and get down there.
So when did you start? When did Morning Momentum become official? And was it actually just that?
I don't even know. I don't even know how I think it was Foster created the name Morning Momentum.
Yeah.
I think so. Mike will remember more of this, but yeah, like I say, it was just completely organic. It was just me and him for a little while in summer 2020. And then by summer 2021, it was that core group of lads that were there every day, and that's when it became addictive. And then 2022, Ramsey got quite a big following.
Was that where it started in Ramsey? Was it?
Yeah. It was always Ramsey for a while, for 3-4 years, I think. 2020, 2021. I mean, 2020, it wasn't even more than momentum at that point. It was just me and Mikey getting in the water. And then 2021 was a core group. 2022 was we got a big group at that point. You know, that was when I'm pretty sure 2022 was our first big day, where we had about 120 odd people turned up.
Wow. Okay. How long after that then from you to started? Sorry.
2 years.
2 years until you finally started seeing like this is actually impacting.
Yeah. And I think that, you know, Mikey's Reels definitely helped.
Yeah.
Because the beauty of filming it and putting it out there and creating an atmosphere around the videos is the people who turn up, they feel amazing afterwards, and then throughout the day, I remember being sat at work so many times watching the video and you get the goosebumps again.
Yeah.
That I can't wait to do this again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the videos definitely help, and they also make.
I think I've started to understand it's like people don't trust what they can't see as well.
100%.
And it's like trying to portray that in a way that looks inviting enough for people. Like, I want to try and do this, and like I want to be a part of something as well. That's another thing I want to try. And it's like what's obviously running is obviously the biggest aspect of it. It's obviously the fitness side of it. But what do you think ultimately it actually stems down to?
Community accountability, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's what More Momentum kind of became about. The exercise, cold water exposure.
Yeah.
That was all, you know, the nooks and crannies of it, the foundations of it. But what turned it into what it was the community accountability. The fact that, you know, we had a group chat, and if you didn't turn up, you'd be getting bantered for it. You're taking a mick out of it.
Try and do that, mate. I need to get fucking a couple of people in. Like, we've just had our 7-day challenge.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So,
how did that go?
It's good. Obviously, when you can't get shut down, I was fucking a bit distraught because I'm like, I can't even keep up. People can't see the progress. I don't know the progress. But even I didn't expect anyone to do it, and the fact that I even had 2 people do it, and now listening to how they're speaking to me and like how better it's made them feel, I'm like, I just need to try and now push it a bit more, but maybe try and change the dynamics a bit, and maybe make it easier for people that have never started doing something like that before.
Yeah.
But Sasha, man, she never ran at all.
Really?
Never. She said she'd done it when she was younger, but she's like, I haven't done exercise or anything.
What a legend.
And like now, she's like, I don't want to keep doing this. Like, it's such an integral part. I mean, she's like, I need, whether it's not 5 in the morning, it might be 6, it might be 7. And obviously Chris as well. She met him briefly and been speaking to him. I'm like, he's coming out of obviously where he's come from. It's not my story to tell. I'm going to leave that to him one day when he's ready. But him, like, it's an essential part of his routine now.
Yeah.
So like, it's not always just about the running. That's what I think. I thought at the first, when I started doing it, I was like, maybe it is just the fitness. But then I'm like, it's not. It's about showing up. It's about the discipline, the cultivating yourself, and then you're like, oh shit, it's mentality.
The mentality side of it.
It's like, some days I was pushing myself further. Some days I'm taking slow, but just trying to like adapt and try and go with that flow. But then realizing like it's given me a chance to better myself, and like I'm proving to myself every single day that this is absolutely essential. This is now non-negotiable. That I have to have in my life.
It all boils down to your self-esteem grows when you keep your promises to yourself of doing difficult stuff every day. Like, pick what it is you want to do that's difficult, and make sure you do it that day, and then your self-esteem just goes through the roof.
I used to have such a problem though. It's like, especially when I used to go to the gym and shit, and I'm like, doing that alone's easy, but it's holding yourself accountable. And there'd be days I'd turn up and you're like, I could get away with not doing a certain rep, or maybe I just fuck off a set, and then. But running, you can't do that, man. It's like, we're in it. If you want to do 1K, 3K, 5K, I'm like, it doesn't matter. Pick a date, pick how far you want to run, and just get it done.
Go for it,
Like yesterday, I went 10K. Even though I was dog bollocks ill, fucking, obviously the legs are shaking. And yesterday I got to a weird feeling. When Alcaz Road didn't come all the way around. And as I'm going along the Alcaz Road, I was like, I can just turn around now. I was like, I think I'm trying to outdo myself, and I'm like, I'm aching and pain. I'm like, because I hadn't ran in like 2-3 weeks, lost that rhythm cycle again. I couldn't breathe properly, and I was like, fuck this. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, I know what I'm doing. I've been running, and I got into a little bit of like euphoria. Like, I completely forgot what I was doing for like 5-10 minutes. And then as I got on the back road, it literally I clicked and I was like, I'm already at fucking Marine Drive. And I was like, how have I just got here?
That's class.
And I was like, got into such a nice little rhythm with myself. And I'm like, It's
So this is the thing, fighting demons. That's the beauty of running, is
it lets
that runners are exactly, yeah, you get to a certain point where you're really struggling, and once you get through that, the high that you get at the end of it is unreal.
And that's the thing, I will not ever stop now. There's not anything apart from Muay Thai. Muay Thai is a very physical exertion. Like, we sweat in 45 minutes. Like, I don't think I've ever lost so many calories. I've bruised myself so much as well. Apart from all the abuse that my mum used to give me, joke. But yeah, it's literally, and now it's trying. The goal now for me is to try and get other people. Like, I see so many influences. I feel like High Rocks is such a big thing. I see so many people running. Like, how can we now try and take that to the next step? I think that's
tap into it.
Yeah, just getting people out and doing it. Yes. I don't know. I don't have the answers for it, but I think we're trying to discover it as we go along.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's the thing. You don't need to have the answers right now. You know, me and you had this conversation when you started it, and it's about volume at first, isn't it? You know, just get stuff out there. Yeah, keep getting stuff out there. Keep getting your name and face seen, and then your message and your wording will kind of find itself, and you'll find your rhythm. It's the same as running. You just keep going through it. Keep doing it. Yeah, for sure. You'll find your own rhythm.
We're getting there. We've had some minor setbacks, but we are pushing through. And then, so from side of that, obviously, I know many people don't know is that me and Elliott used to actually live together a long time ago.
10 years now, which is cracked.
Fucking 10 years, and what different people we were back then, mentality. Yeah. And there was something that you said to me a couple of weeks ago that really, really resonated. And obviously, we're on a different journey to a lot of people. We woke up to a lot of different things, which I don't really want to talk about on the podcast because it'll cause a lot of controversial fucking people all the time. People don't like what we had to hear, but something that really resonated. And it was that sometimes whether we progress in life and what we're trying to achieve and what we're trying to do, we obviously have to ultimately leave some people behind, not necessarily leave them behind. More as, like you said, you have to love people from afar.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And you've started a lot of little things yourself. You had your farm, and also now, which something I think I absolutely can't wait to promote as well and see people push, is the Manx Growers Network, which I take it away, have a little conversation, tell people what it's about, get people interested.
That journey starts similar sort of time as Modern Momentum. So, like I say, at that particular moment, it's funny because at the start of Morning Momentum, or at the start of 2020, I was simultaneously in more pain than I'd ever been in. You know, childhood breakup, and your first one, you know, it destroys you.
Yeah, I was thinking about that today, weirdly, you know. I was obviously thinking about, because I was up at Douglas Head, and I was like, what are the steps I've taken to get here, and what's turned me into a man, what hasn't, and that was one of the things. That's my first ever breakup.
Yeah, exactly.
It absolutely destroyed me.
They kill you, and at the same time, I remember, you know, COVID was happening. I was doing my mindset at that point was continuously do things that are difficult, and we started MPCS, myself, Mike, and two other friends. We started MPCS, and from MPCS, you know, this was a group of people who, should we just say, had questions and concerns about what was happening.
Yeah.
And within that, you know, we broke up into focus groups, and one of the focus groups was called Thrive, and the idea was, well, instead of sitting here complaining about the state of the world, what can we actually do as a community to change things? And one of the typical of that kind of situation, it was, well, let's get our own land and grow our own food. So regardless of where
be the fucking source instead of outsourcing.
Exactly. Yeah. So, you know, self-sustainability at the end of the day. And,
absolutely.
I just started knocking on farmers' doors, left, right, and centre, and I happened to knock on the right farmer's door at the right time. And
that's through persistence, though, isn't it? As well, just a lot of failure.
Yeah, I got doors closed on me.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Some of them let me have conversations and never got back to me. And that was expected, but you know, I came across this incredible couple from up north. They ran organic. I can't say organic because that's a legal term, but non-chemical.
Non-pasteurized, no fucking chemicals, the purest goodness that you can get.
Yeah, and they were, you know, they've been doing it for years. Very, very, very hard working, old school people. There was we worked it out, they had a lot more than 2.2 acres of growing space, but they gave me 2.2 acres of growing space.
Yeah.
Then there was 2 polytunnels, or we originally had the small one, but they said we could up it to have the big one as well. And that's where Thrive Farms was born. And the idea behind Thrive Farms was, it took me 2 years to get the business structure set up, which was, because at first it was just me selling vegetables on the farm as well.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, but I had a bigger vision for it. The vision was to create a company where, I run the company, so to speak, but it's not my company. It's a cooperative. It's actually called a Community Benefit Society, which is very similar. I think, they are on the same legislation. And the idea being that anyone who's a member is a co-owner of the business.
Right, okay, so it's like not kind of like a share scheme, but it's like what you put in is all...
It's a cooperative.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the difference between cooperative and a community benefit society is your business has to be seen to be benefiting the wider community, not just its cooperative members.
Right, okay.
So, which is what the Thrive Farms is doing, growing vegetables, selling it on the market. And the idea behind it was anyone who was a member dedicates a small amount of time each week. I set it at around about 3 hours. Now, I remember getting some advice at that point that for every 100 people that say they'll do something, you'll be lucky to get 5. And I didn't agree. But at the same time,
I know that firsthand. Like,
yeah, I know.
The amount of people that have, and no disregard to anyone, I've had so many people want to come for a run,
and
I'm still waiting for them.
Exactly. In their own time.
In their own time,
And the beauty of it was, the idea was that they turn up, do a little bit of, let's say 3 hours, and then they get to take away their week's worth of vegetables. Any money that we make,
so what you put in is what
you get in and what you put out. The idea was we get this one so it's functioning, working well, earning a little bit of money, and then we can find more place. So this was in Ramsey, and the idea was then we could open up another one down south. We could open up another one here, and just gradually grow. Exactly. That was the idea. Now we're talking about mistakes. The biggest mistake I made was I tried too hard to get the, should we say, the background stuff right, instead of getting the growing right.
Yeah.
I had never put anything in the ground before I started Thrive Farms. I should have just honed in on that for 3-4 years. But it's typical
learning the tools that you craft with. Yeah.
And it's typical of being a 24, 25-year-old man.
You think you can do everything.
Exactly, and you think you can do it in a short space of time. Whereas I should have been looking at this as a 20, 30-year project. You know what I mean? So that was my biggest mistake, was I wanted it done now. I wanted it to work well now. Whereas what I should have done was work really hard on the land, grow that first, get it so that that's functioning well, maybe then hire people in so that I could have worked on the background stuff separately. It would have took 5, maybe 10 years, but it would have been more sustainable. So
that's like you said, it's fucking, you want that 15-year thing in 2 months.
2 years, literally, yeah. And that was my idea, was okay, in 2 years, we're going to be opening up a new one.
It's like, I'm going to fucking put farms all over the world. Smash my words.
No chance. It was never going to happen. But we talk about failure. I don't see it as a failure, although it felt.
At the time,
it felt like it when I had to let that go. I had just opened a shop in Ramsey. When I let that go, it felt huge. Confidence completely knocked. But then the more I thought about it afterwards, the more I started to put together some of the conversations I'd had with people. So, for example, at the market, one of the biggest problems was that the people who turned up and were conscious about eating well and getting locally sourced, non-chemical food, they already had their own. They already grew their own food.
Yeah, so it's like had to come in like
my target market already had their own food. So, but what did keep on happening was, some of them would turn up and they'd go, okay, I'll take sweet corn, I'll take this, I'll take that. But I already have my own tomatoes. I have a load of tomatoes. Do you want to sell some on here? Which quite often I did. But the more I thought about it, the more I thought, well, instead of me, spending what should have been, and it wasn't, but what should have been 16 hours a day, every day, on the farm, growing vegetables. Rather, that's not my forte. My forte is community.
It's building around it.
Exactly. So that's where Manx Growers Network came in. That's what led me to the idea of Manx Growers Network, which is, rather than me doing all the growing, I've got my own allotment now. I can enjoy growing rather than it being full of pressure. And
Especially when you put business into it as well. I think you get in the way of that, and you lose the craft, or you lose the passion for it as well.
And that was daily, because the sheer size of the place. When we used to get volunteers turn up, you know, we'd spend a day weeding, and we'd do half of one bed, and I'm like, now just see why organic, non-chemical food is 20p extra, because this is how much work.
I'm not going to get into it now, but I understand fucking the price and scale, and like, especially you can see it commercially, like it's ridiculous. The price for a lemon, a normal lemon to an organic lemon, it's like 3 times the price in some cases.
Exactly. You know I mean? But at the same time, I can understand it, and you know, the idea was, if we can grow enough food, because we have enough volunteers coming up. Let's say we had 50 people turn up each week doing 3 hours. That's 150 hours a week of free labour. That's a lot of free labour. You can get a lot done with that. So it means we could have kept our pricing down. That was the overall gist of it. But like I say, that didn't work out. And a lot of it was my fault. And a lot of it was, you know, I say a lot of it. Some of it was promises from some people. But I let that bitterness go, because I took the responsibility of. You took accountability for it. It should have been. It was me that could have done that completely different. And then with the Max Growers Network, I've created an online platform for anyone who grows any kind of vegetables. It's not necessarily a business where we sell any kind of vegetables. I'd like to do some sort of charity work with leftover harvest, that kind of thing. Maybe some harvest swap. Somebody in their garden doesn't have space for sweet corn, but they have loads of carrots. You turn up on one day and you both swap. You know, one person's got that. A bit more organisation and stuff. And it's easier for me. I don't have to concentrate so much on doing hours and hours and hours of actual growing. I can enjoy my own growing. I can document, providing a fucking sustained source for everybody else. And doing the only thing in business so far that I've, you know, done reasonably good at is the building of a community. Getting people to feel comfortable being a part of something. So. We'll see where that goes. Obviously, this is a big year for it, but I'm very conscious about, you know, I had this idea before Christmas of I wanted to do this year offer, so we'll get people to buy a full year's membership for. I had all these ideas, and I had to rein it in and go, you're making the same mistake. You're trying to peak before you can even start. Exactly. So I need to slowly build it, and at the start of this year, I've moved house. Currently ill, and it feels like this one's never leaving. So there's been a few setbacks already this year, but you know, once again, can't make excuses for that. I've got to get on with it, and watching what you're doing with how consistent you are with your honestly, this from someone that hated social media, that didn't want to have any presence at all on any site or whatever it was. I think that a lot of that came from insecurity though as well. Especially when I was taking a lot of drugs, I was like heavily dependent on that fix to make me confident. And then when I didn't have it, it was like the complete opposite. And then now going from that to obviously posting and trying to update has brought a lot of confidence out of me, especially doing stuff like this as well. I'm like, it is absolutely essential now, and it's helping me benefit myself in so many ways that I didn't actually think were possible. Like, I didn't think I'd be able to ever get my voice back, but having that confidence in posting all the time is giving me that slowly reassurance that what I'm doing and what I'm talking about and the way I come across, especially inspiring so many people that I already have, is obviously in the right direction. And that's your motivation right there, isn't it? You know, the amount of times we've had people say, you know, this has happened quite a few times in Morning Events, and it's not blowing our own trumpet. This is a fact. People have said to us, "You've changed my life." Yeah, exactly. And when you hear that kind of stuff, that's what I do. I don't care if it failed and it carried on. I don't care how much money or success it comes. It's just about how much impact can I ultimately have on myself, which already is so high than my expectations. But what can I actually now do for people around me, my family, friends, the younger generation? That is my ultimate goal. It's to change the perspective of everybody else's thinking, not to control them. You give someone or open someone a door, they have to be the ones to walk through it ultimately, but what can I do to get that door in there in the first place? Just provide the door. Exactly. Well, I'm going to get some questions then out of that. Thank you as well for sharing as well. If people do not know Elliott or haven't seen what he's about, you can find him on social media. What's your Instagram and stuff? Have you got pages? Have you got a website and stuff? Yeah, I've got Elliott Cureton for both Facebook and Instagram, but the Manx Growers Network also for Facebook and Instagram. So I'll send the tags through to you. So
yeah, that'll be in the links and stuff as well. So first question is, the Run Club and the Business Network both build community. What's the single most important lesson you've learned about turning a group of people into a tribe or a community that trusts each other and shows up?
The number one, I mean, there's quite a few in there. So the number one is, I would say, consistency. In fact, no, consistency is massive. I would say the culture comes from the top.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you're dedicated, if you're turning up, everyone has bad days, but if you're happy, smiley, inviting, I think the culture of whatever it is you're creating will grow in the image of you, basically. So, and that's at the end of the day more responsibility for yourself.
It is. Leadership takes a lot of responsibility because you're ultimately trying to not control, but you have a lot of control over someone's well-being and mental fortitude as well, which I think I'm slowly starting to get from, like, having Sasha and Chris, like how much it's impacted on them. Like, it takes one thing for me to slip that up or deter them from trying to still progress. But thank you. So the second question I've got is, walk us through a failure or a major, we've probably spoke about this, but anyway, walk us through a failure or a major unexpected obstacle with the Growers Network. Not the polished lesson, but a raw moment. What went wrong? What did the discipline of your routine force you to do, and instead of the next day quitting?
Yeah, so we did touch on it before. The biggest problem was with Thrive Farms is I was far too hasty with it. It was, I need success and I need success now. And I didn't stop to plan, so to speak. I mean, there was planning done, obviously, but there wasn't a clear structure to how I'm going to reach, 6-month goals, year goals, that kind of thing. I say that I did have them written out, but it was more a whimsical thing of just writing them down, and that was it, really, rather than revisiting it all the time. Where am I up to progress wise? I guess it's organization with regards to your goals and how you're going to reach
time
them.
management and shit as well, isn't it? A lot of it.
Yeah, and I have heard this, in the should we say business podcast sphere, is everything takes longer than you expected to.
Yeah, fuck me.
You just got to be willing to keep on the grind.
But with all, I was like fucking absolutely riddled with ADHD, so I'm like, I've got this amazing idea, I don't want to happen now.
Yeah.
But I've learned slowly as well from that as well. Like, I have to organising things, time management. What do I want my days? Having days off as well, just as equally as important. Like having a day not to think about the business is just as equally. And then obviously what to do, when to do it, how can I do it.
A friend of mine put me. I went to one of his retreats recently, and I don't know whether he coined it. I'm sure he didn't. But he was talking about the idea of working in. But you've got working out and then working in. So the idea being that, when you go, I'm going to have a rest day or I'm going to have a relaxed day, and then you sit there and put the TV on. That's not resting. That's not resting your brain.
No, it's
sitting there doing some breath work. Whether it be meditation, whether it be doing something artistic that you love, you're painting something like that. That's working in. That's feeding your soul in a restorative kind of setting, I suppose.
Yeah, I like that actually. Sometimes I think watching TV for me it's such an easy way just to turn off. I can never remember what I've just watched.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, it's just like, all right, sad. I can just be at peace. I don't have to think about anything. I'll just let something, whatever, just control my mind for a bit. But yeah, it's another massive thing I love to do. But I have since starting this, I've not had a chance to do it.
It'll come back.
It will. It's just once we get this off on the roll, like I want it now again. Question 3. In the Alcaz Blueprint, we talk about a hero product. What was the first, the smallest, or most essential offering you launched with the Growers Network to test your idea, and if it had any traction?
Nothing yet, so to speak. Only because the idea is so new and it's coming into season. So, like I said before, I had these offers I wanted to put out, but I realised I was rushing it. I hadn't. So the community itself is on a platform called Mighty Networks. And as much as I've gone through Mighty Networks and I've tested it and I've filled in the spaces of the different, ideas, I guess, that are mixed within it. I hadn't fully tested it as a customer. I hadn't fully tested so there was things I hadn't done. And it was only when I came to, really, I was about to, I guess, release these deals and things and try and gain some traction with getting people onto the platform. I realised, hang on, I don't know what it looks like for them. I know what it looks like for me as an admin. But I don't know what it looks like for them. So I need to hold off. I need to do a bit more work in the background, and I need to get it right this time. I need to get it. At the end of the day, your foundations need to be right.
Yeah, solid. Like that's absolutely essential. I mean, even from what's happened over the weekend of how much I wanted to do in a year, I want to bring that goal down and decrease the time, but also have the same exact input. Like I still want to do a launch, I still want to build, I still want to keep it exclusive, but I want to now jump from having that first one to going let's go full ball to the walls instead of like, let's test the market, see how we get, and then maybe if it fails or doesn't fail, learn and go obviously from it, which I think I can do in one sitting or one first launch, which is going to be this year, and then just go from there.
It's always good to have friends as test pilots and things. I've got a few that are really interested in being on the Manx Growers Network, so it might just be a case of throwing them on free membership. As a tester, then we can, I feel
like you do have to hook the fish in a bit of time, otherwise, like you said, it's one of those things, and you know what it looks like for yourself, but sometimes you need to do that a couple of times to pay for it to ultimately fail.
And you put a post up the other day talking about failure and talking about how you look at it completely different.
Completely, like, whereas I think now, because I failed so much through my 20s, where it came to anything in my life, any aspect, I'm like, it was always such a devastating thing, and it was always it always came from a perspective of just pure rejection of myself, my inability, my expectations, and then that just used to steamroll, and it used to cause so much more pain and fucking hurt. If I didn't get a job offer I really was excited for, I'd just sit there and destroy myself for a week. If I didn't achieve a goal, or I didn't do a piece of art, or even if I did a piece of art and it came out the wrong way, and I'm like, I'll just absolutely smash the thing to pieces and just move on. But now I'm like, okay, sometimes those little happy failures we do have is kind of be like a little lesson.
Happy failures, I like that too. That's cool.
Yeah, because it is essentially, it's not, if you think of it straight away, I'm like, oh no, it's the worst thing that's ever happened.
It's not the end of the world.
It's not the end of the world at all. And sometimes that failure also has it's like it opens itself a door. Like, okay, I've just learned something now, without rushing and overreacting and getting too emotional. I'm like, is there something I can learn from this, and what can I do to obviously better myself the next time around? But yeah, failure is the big thing. I think I keep seeing it more and more, especially like trying to get Simon Squibb involved. Simon Squibb, if you ever watch this,
let's go.
Well, let's go. But yeah, I think failure as much as possible. That's my biggest license. That's what I really want to touch on with kids. I'm like, just keep failing. If it doesn't work, go again. Why didn't it work? Figure it out and just keep pushing yourself to fail.
A good one Michael Jordan said on that. I don't know the exact quote, but it's something along the lines of, why were you the highest percentage shooter, whatever it is? And his comment was, because I also had the highest failure. Because he tried a hell of a lot.
For every shot thrown, his shot fails.
Exactly. So
you need to put the work in, the reps. But so, fourth question: entrepreneurship is quite a lonely task. As you know, you quite have to do a lot of things on our own. And as a close friend, I've seen the grinds from day one. I've seen everything you've achieved so far. And where are we? Sorry, I've just lost my point. And I've seen the grind. What's the one thing daily or of building your venture that you think most people completely romanticize or get wrong?
Oh, that's a good question. I think what they romanticize is the progression, I guess. It like we said before, it takes longer than expected to get certain things done, and it's the progression is in the work that nobody sees. It's
it's the things you do behind closed doors.
Exactly. And anyone who's been an entrepreneur, and there's people I know that are a lot more successful in that area than me, and the one thing they all have in common is they understand it's the work.
It's the time.
Yeah, exactly. It's the, like you say, it's the failures. It's the sitting there. Okay, I'm going to put all these figures into a spreadsheet. I don't know how to do a spreadsheet. Watching you before was inspiring. Setting all this up. Yeah, I know you know your sound because you're DJing, but watching you do
it's still like everything's different as well. Like,
exactly, you're learning this as you go.
Yeah,
so it's inspiring, that kind of thing. Yeah,
and we're getting there. We'll have a better podcast one day. But I like, not saying this isn't good now, but what I want to do and what I vision Alcaz to be, like, I do want it's going to be an absolute hub. I want to be able to have my own little warehouse space, and I can have that community where you're either building businesses, you're meeting people, you can come into a podcast and talk about shit you want to talk about, promote whatever you want to do. But yeah, they're long-term games.
There's also, sorry to interrupt, just before I forget it, there's, I can't remember whether it was Chris Williamson, or the podcaster, or Alex Hormozy that coined the phrase of the lonely chapter. I know it was their conversation. The idea being that at some point you are, I don't want to say outgrown, but you've released yourself from the path you were on with original friends, but you haven't quite gained the skills, knowledge, and experience to have a new set of friends.
Yeah.
So in that middle period, you're going to be lonely. You're going to have nights where you're sat up thinking, "Oh, all my mates are out," and this has happened to me.
I think you don't also know exactly what you require as well in those terms. Like, we need to know both skills, and we're both learning constantly. I'm trying to do that now as well. I'm like, what do I want to build the brand around, and what is it that's going to have an input, and what can I obviously take away from it? So like, I'm learning that myself at the moment, and it's like going from one group to another group. And I'm not saying that group was bad. It was just we made bad life choices.
Yeah. I mean, for our, shall we say, more mental days, and sort of some of the nicest people I've ever met. So some are still very, very good friends to this day. We're just on a different path. Yeah, exactly. And every time I see them, it'll still be complete love. But
yeah, it's foreign territory for me as well. Like, because I was so disconnected for so long. It's the one thing I think I'm not struggling with. I'm thinking it's quite comfortable now, but it's like finding now that new essential source of life and energy that can not only help me better myself, and what can I learn from people as well, and what can I, especially it's been business mentoring shit. There's a lot of people doing a lot of good things on the other
100%. Yeah.
It's like trying to surround myself with that slowly, with not being too overwhelming as well. I'm not going like, fuck, this is a bit too much for me. Maybe I'm not doing enough, or how does it come across, or whatever it is. Just trying to fucking slowly not feed that doubt of fear.
Yeah, good luck with that. It'll come.
But it is.
But you can plow through, like you say. Be willing to fail. Be willing to make mistakes. Just keep going with it. But yeah, I think that's an important point to make. You just said there is the amount of young, even should we say middle age, because we're getting close to that ourselves.
No, still 23 mentally.
Exactly. But so many good entrepreneurs over here at the minute. I'm not going to name them all, but you know, we've done collaborations with a lot of them through More Momentum or whatever it is. There's so many people doing such good things on the island at the minute, and one of the things I do know that we have is a supportive environment around it these days. You know, we've done collaborations with other groups, and there's been nothing but support backwards and forwards. And even when you are seen doing something good, they'll send you a message, mate, this is Ace, good to see. So that's something that, you know, for the younger generation, anyone wanting to be an entrepreneur, if you can find a way to tap into that at the minute, it's definitely a solid little community.
Yeah, going against the grain and stuff as well, and just finding that little help and space, and ultimately putting yourself out there as well, and believing that you actually can fucking achieve.
And you will get support from people. You know, we have the idea of Manx Cabs over here, but I can guarantee you, if you put yourself out there, and you start pushing boundaries, and you will get support from people.
Absolutely. I think it comes a lot in insecurity though. If you don't believe in yourself, you're not going to find that manifest the social group or the things that you need to actually support yourself with. And it's a lot of time it's actually people that you need to be around. And a lot of people will help you grow and get to the place where you actually need to. But yeah, step out your comfort zone, take risks. We've both taken massive risks in our lives. I've taken a bit too many risks to get cut like very close to the fucking cloth, but they were absolutely essentially needed, and it ultimately made me into a person that I knew where my limits were and what I could actually genuinely put myself to. But last question then, looking at the next year, the one that's coming up, 2026, what's the one non-negotiable standard, like my 5 a.m. runs, that you're protecting for your business, that you won't compromise no matter what the opportunity or what type of pressure comes your way?
The main thing for me this year is getting comfortable with being in front of the camera. It's a massive part of what I need to do to, build a brand around Manx Networks, Manx Growers Network. Can't believe I've forgotten that. It's a massive part of it is the content side of it, feeling comfortable being in front of a camera. It's something I've always struggled with. Ask them on events and crew. It's actually a inside joke that whenever there's a picture, they're trying to get me in the picture, but I'll face the other way, and I'm always
like the ghost in the background.
Yeah. So it's a known thing that I don't like the camera, but I have to do it. I have to get used to it, and I have to.
Especially in this saturated day and age, man, everyone is seeking or watching something online.
Of course, yeah. And you can tap into the fact that people have no attention spans these days, and you can work the algorithm to.
I think we do. I think it's just where our attention is just put onto something else. It's not like what it's supposed. Something productive. Yeah. It's not about building or anything. It's just like, I can sit here and scroll across TikTok for freaking 2 hours easily. Yeah,
well, that's the thing with the Manx Growers Network is I'm at no point selling myself as a expert. I'm not. I've grown food for 3 years, and it was on a large scale to the point where it's really difficult to learn the finer details. It's just a case of weed all of that space, lash all of this in the ground. And hope for the best.
Literally, there's no. Like a couple of my plants in here. Exactly. That one's on the way out.
So the Manx Growers Network is, for me, it's a case of we're all on that journey together. I would encourage people who, here's the fiance. I would encourage people to join the community, and also. Hello, Alan.
Baby mama.
Join the community and also get comfortable with it's my responsibility to build a platform and a community where people feel comfortable sharing their own journey. And once we can all share it together, that's how we grow as a community, and that's how we learn to trust each other. And that will inevitably build my confidence in my own content.
Yeah, I know. It'll absolutely help with that. Like we said, content, I mean, it is the hardest part. It's about staying consistent, and putting yourself on camera is so, like, my first video took me about 4.5 hours. I was like, fuck, every 5 minutes, like, my face look okay? Did I stumble on my words? Did I fucking not say something in the right way? And I do fidget a lot because my ADHD and stuff. This is something I need to. This is one thing. Like, it's being comfortable. Like, because it's still so new, I'm like quite twitchy. I'm like, fuck, is the camera in the right way? Is it up here, or am I not in the way? Constantly. But I'm like, one good thing I learned was went to see Josh, who does my hair for me, and I was speaking to him about obviously starting the podcast. I'm like trying to start new content, because when I watch his videos, it's just him. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing else on the side of it. Bit of polishing, bit of editing, blah blah blah. But ultimately, it's just that's his authentic self. And I'm like, what can I take away from that? And he told me what he learned was meeting Percy, who does What's the Scoop. And he was like, I just do whatever you want. Like, don't care about how you come across, don't care about what you talk. Well, obviously what you're talking about has a lot of context, but not like how you're saying it. Or if you stumble, fucking who cares? Just like get on with it, get the content out there, and if it's relative and reliable, people are just going to pick up on it. So I think that's a big thing for you. Just Just do them.
Yeah,
Just make
just get the
videos.
videos out there.
It doesn't matter where you are. If you're in your car, if you're out fucking plowing some seeds in the floor,
whatever
or
it is,
building something.
Just document the journey. That's what I need to get used to. Is, you know, that I'm on my own journey of growing, and I need to document the journey and encourage more people to join the community to document that journey together. The idea being that, you know, together we can bolster some.
As you're learning, you could be teaching as well.
And learning from other people. Exactly. I want people who are brand new to growing. I want people who have been growing for 40, 50 years, because they themselves bring value to the community. As if I have a question, I can put it on there and they can, you know, help with an answer or help with their own experience.
Exactly. And ultimately, this is probably there is no better time to start doing this as well, especially. I'm not going to talk about conspiracy or tinfoil's hat, but if the expectation of way the world is going, I think this would be a fundamental key skill for anyone to learn.
It has to be. That's literally been my whole, should we say, goal since 2020, is building community so that when whatever is coming, you know, the world is so unsure at the minute.
And even if someone doesn't, it's still like
better the worst, hope for the best.
Why wouldn't exactly?
It could be that the world sorts itself out and everybody's peaceful and we all love each other. Great. Then we have a healthy food to deal with. We have community to deal with, which is all good. Or the world goes to pot and we have much more food sustainability and we have good communities to deal with it together. It is a win-win situation if we can build these communities together now, you know.
And if you are someone that's watching this that has thought about doing this yourself or wants to also be a part, you can know where to find Elliott. He has a website. You can find him on Instagram. You can contact us through this. Like every bit of information you learn, or any bit of advice as well. If you're someone that's been doing it for a long time, get involved. Don't make yourself known. Don't hide in the shadows.
Please do.
Every bit of information, whether it's good or bad, is vital information, and we can always learn from it. But thank you for coming. What's the plan for the rest of the day?
Pleasure. I'm going to go home and lie down because I am dying at the minute. I feel awful.
A lot more ginger and a lot more lemon.
Exactly, yeah. Something healthy. In fact, I think I'm
I did see that. Did I send you that munchie box I sent you yesterday? Fuck me.
Avoid that at all costs.
I'm dying to leave it. Like.
I'm doing you when I'm not fasting.
Yeah, but thank you very much, mate. Oh, you're going to do one of those.
Yeah. Thank you. Remember, I'm dying.
Fucking hell, man.